Yo guys, it's X. Thank you for 200 subscribers. You know, this channel is just something fun. It's a hobby. I don't take it that serious, but this has been long overdue. A little Q&A is supposed to happen previously, but some unforeseen interruptions took place. But nonetheless, we're here now, and it's on this channel, which I think is even better. So let's do this. So yeah, I'm just going to take some questions, and if you guys want to comment and really just answer these questions in your own way, feel free. It's kind of a fun way to see where you're at. And yeah, let's do this. Who are your biggest inspirations in DPP? Well, I guess I could go back and really talk about the first YouTuber that I ever watched was Maryland. I used to watch his Let's Play videos, and those were great. And then he uploaded that iconic video that I'm sure you guys have seen. If you haven't seen it, you're living under a rock. Go and watch Maryland versus Untouchable. One of the most historical battles in all of Pokemon. The switch in with Rattata killing KOing the Empoleon to finish off the game is just iconic. So yeah, go and watch that battle. It's just Maryland brings in the Garchomp, the Salamence, of course, but his opponent is bringing like Ubers, Cheerly, like clearly just like an 11-year-old kid with an action replay, and it makes for such a funny battle. I recently watched it. I rewatched it. I think it had like 600k views. I thought the original maybe had like 1 million or 2 million. I don't know, but yeah, definitely Maryland. I remember watching, and that was a huge inspiration for me. Maybe it's one of the reasons why Salamence is one of my favorite Pokemon. Also, just Salamence being such a beast of a physical attacker and a special attacker, and lowering the opponent's attack with Intimidate, and also being fast. Huge fan of Salamence, dude. Just dropping Dracos and then clicking Outrage, being able to click Fire Blast, EQ, just absolute tank. Remember naming Salamence Bazooka in my playthroughs just because of the sheer power Salamence has, that offensive capability. So next question. Whoa, that is a question. Let's do oh, I didn't even answer my two others. So next up, I would say, you know, obviously BKC and AIM, I've mentioned them before for obvious reasons. They're big inspirations. I want to go back to early times. So Killer Notch was a huge inspiration for me for like building some of the Wi-Fi teams that I used to use to play against my friends. Just watching his videos and some of the creative sets and ideas that he would bring to the table against his opponents. Just that whole Wi-Fi era, there's something special about it. You know, people used UU and NU Pokemons like it was nothing, and it really didn't matter. Like every team wasn't Zapdos, Breloom, Heatran, you know, Tyranitar. Like there's so much creativity and just all kinds of different sets being used. And it's pretty clear that I took note, and this helped me like innovate some of my teams. I don't remember exact teams I used to use. Maybe like Jirachi, Breloom, Fortress, Empoleon, so, stuff like that. I don't know. But the main inspiration, I saved the best for last, was MTG Xerxes. Just a very charismatic guy, someone who was really good in front of the camera, had a lot of knowledge about DPP. Just fun to watch, you know. kind of had that early 2000s like let's go like older brother core thing going on. And it was so fun to watch his videos when I was a kid, and yeah, it definitely inspired some of my passion for battling. And of course, you know, he used like the girl Pokemon trainer avatar, and I remember thinking like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, he's a guy, like, but now it's like I'm in my like 20s and I get it. I've done it now. So yeah, it's pretty funny. And yeah, just chill dude overall. I remember like maybe a couple of years ago when I was finishing up last year in college, I would just binge watch his videos. Like, they're just so fun to watch because the commentary is excellent. The early 2000 vibe is just ever so prevalent in those videos. And yeah, I think I even dropped in one of his streams and said what's up. So yeah, shout out to MTG Xerxes. To me, that's like the GOAT of the old DPP. So next up, what we got? Thoughts on anime / manga. This is a tough question. Let me just break it down. I think that manga can get a bad rep from people who only watch anime because maybe they get spoiled by the manga readers, or maybe some manga readers give off this like elitist vibe that somehow they're like better just because they like read the manga ahead of time. I'm someone who likes both anime and manga, and they're just two different mediums. If you like appreciating the art and you like having more agency, being the doer, being the person that's actually coming up with the voice acting for characters, you like moving the story along and interacting with it at your own pace, then you like manga, right? And anime, it takes the manga and it expands on those fighting scenes and really brings it to life in a sense, gives it color. But I'd say you can enjoy them separately, and it's not a huge deal. Like, there's no let's say you're an anime only guy and you hate on manga. There's no sense in that, because the whole reason the anime even exists is because of the manga, and the person who's making the manga, right, the author, they are the reason that the anime exists. So if you're hating on the manga, then you're also in a sense hating on the anime. So it really just doesn't make any sense. You know, I've always loved reading manga since I was a kid, since I was a youngin'. Read like Shonen Weekly, read like One Piece, Bobobo, Naruto. And you know, I prefer the anime most of the times to manga. Like, when I was a kid in like 4th grade, I was like, I could have bought the volume 40 or whatever for Naruto 41 to read the pain arc, or some of it for that matter. But I opted to wait for the anime because there's just something about watching those fight scenes in real time. You take something like One Piece though, and that's just like, the pacing is so bad. It's better to read the manga, and then you can just watch the fights. Saves you time. So when it comes to anime and manga, I think both mediums should be appreciated and honored for what they do. And it's hilarious if people are like, oh, it's the anime that does everything. It's like, well, no, it's like the manga too. Like, what do you think people are like waiting for every weekend reading? That's making the anime so hyped in the first place. It's the foundation. So yeah, that whole mentality that's like anime is the best and manga sucks. It's like, why can't both just be great? I never understood that. So I guess it's just ignorance, you know. Some people just, they aren't really aware of the full like bigger picture. They're just kind of living in their own lens because they don't like something, so they just hate on it. Yeah, anime and manga are both great, and yeah, whatever, bro. It's not that deep. Thoughts on Valorant? Man, Valorant is, it's a good game. It was a good game, I should say. It's kind of fallen off for me. Not as fun anymore. You know, I've played it 5 years. I've played every map so many times. I've played ranked so many times. And I wish it was fun again, because when it was fun, man, it was just, oh, it was such a fun game. I love Valorant, but you know, everything reaches its ending, and I played the crap out of this game. Must have like 2,400 hours or something, and you know, finally just reached that point where it's kind of like not that fun anymore, and it feels like I'm forcing myself to play. If I play, it feels like a chore, so I just stopped playing. Favorite video games of all time? Man, I'd have to go with, let's just exclude Valorant. Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005. Just being able to play as clone troopers and these different classes, like snipers, dudes with shotguns, the chain gunner, the droideka, the jet trooper. It's just a blast, and being able to play on all those Star Wars maps like Mustafar, Mos Eisley. Recently just got into like modding it and playing some of the mods. Well, I haven't been modding, but that's been fucking sick. So, I mean, that was just a childhood favorite. Playing through the campaign mode with friends and just taking that whole journey of the 501st and those brutal cutscenes. Like 10 years old, just witnessing that, or however old, I don't fucking know. Amazing, man. Just god tier. This is unordered, by the way. Minecraft would definitely be up there. Playing Minecraft at its peak in like 2012 to 2014 was just some of the best times ever, bro. God, the Hunger Games mode, kit PvP, suit PvP, like joining TeamSpeak and Skype calls, and just with random ass people and teaming up. I remember we even like prank called this like Target or whatever, and we're like, hey, do you have the cultivator kit? That was so funny, man. Or like getting in a YouTuber's video on Hunger Games and winning. Playing Sky Wars too, and of course Hypixel came later on, and just like survival mode with the boys never gets old. So Minecraft is definitely one where it's always going to be up there. Third place. You know, I could put Smash Bros, but I think I'll just leave it to those two. If you were in the anime world, where would you be in anime world? God damn. It's a tough question. I'd want to be in the world of Kuroko no Basket because it's chill. It's kind of like a cop out answer instead of being in some magical world where I have to fight people in order to survive. But I'd want to be in Kuroko no Basket because I'd actually want to test my basketball skills, my prowess against the generation of Miracles and Kuroko and Kagami Taiga. So yeah, that's what I'd want to do. Which underrated anime / manga do you wish more people talked about? To be honest, I don't really care about other people, like their opinions that much, so I don't really care. Like if I like something, then that's enough for me. Oh, actually though, I would say I don't see Psycho-Pass being talked about enough for its impact and its amazing story. So I think that's one that should be talked about more. If you could rewrite the ending of one series, which would it be and why? You know, I'd probably rewrite Attack on Titan. I just don't... The message of it just... I wasn't really a fan of how it was executed. I'd say Attack on Titan. From the moment that Eren turns against his friends to the ending, I think there was a lot that needed to be rewritten there. How would I go about it? Well, I wouldn't make Eren kill the world to protect his friends. It is what it is, though, man. You know? You just got, like... I tried thinking of an ideal ending for Attack on Titan because I really do like Attack on Titan. It's just like... I don't know, man. Start of the series was way better. Yeah. It is what it is, whatever. Okay, would you pass the Hunter exam? Yeah, so here's what I'd do for the Hunter exam, how to pass. I'd just summon Maharaga, Big Raga the Opstapa, and then, yeah, I would win from there. I'd kind of like pull a Killua and just like destroy everybody, get their badges, and be like, hey, I'm done now. And then the instructor would be like, okay, here's your Hunter license. And I'd be like, bet, let's go fuck up some Chimera ants, or let's go to the Dark Continent. What's the anime scene that hit you the hardest emotionally? There's a few. I would say the spoilers, guys, by the way, for Demon Slayer movie. I'd say the Demon Slayer movie hit. That's like the most recent one. I wouldn't say it hit the hardest though. Like the Akaza's backstory. Like, damn, bro. Like, that was tragic. The one that's like most on my mind is probably because I'm watching Hunter x Hunter right now is like the Komagi and Medium deaths. That was like, damn, that shit hit hard. Like, oh, also definitely the ending of Evangelion. Like, holy crap, dude. And just like the point in my life when I watched that was like the perfect time. Because, you know, if I was going through life and everything was just perfect, everything was great, maybe I wouldn't have really understood the message that well, and I would have thought Evangelion was just like, oh, like this is just boring, right? Or like, oh, I can't relate to this. But because I was in a bit of a dark chapter, then I could really totally understand the story and its message and where it was coming from. So Evangelion definitely is like, god damn. Those two, definitely Naruto, I would say, hit really hard. Like Jiraiya versus Pain, Itachi versus Sasuke. That is always one that hits like a motherfucker, like a truck, because you're taking the student and the teacher and you're seeing how the student kind of got led down the wrong path. And Jiraiya is still such a kind person that he still tries to help him. Even when he's totally just gone off the rails, Jiraiya is still there. Or, Naruto fighting Pain and going like not full Ninetales mode when Hinata gets smacked around by Pain. Yeah. I mean, I guess I mentioned Itachi and Sasuke. I guess they're the final part where he taps Sasuke on the head and he tells him, or he like mouths like that he loved him, and then they're reuniting too. So there's also One Piece, of course. Dude, the part in Arlong Park arc where Luffy puts his hat on Nami's head, that one was great, dude. Damn. There's also some more One Piece ones, like Sanji in Whole Cake Island. So there's so many, but I guess those are the most memorable, the like prominent ones. Oh, yo. Todo pulling up to Shibuya and going, "Come on, brother, my best friend. We are the exception." That's one of the best moments in anime, bro. Just picking up Itadori when he's down, he's crying, his comrades have died, and Toto's just right there to be like, "Get back up, let's do this." And they proceed to whoop Mahito's ass. So it's one of the best moments by far. Okay. Which anime character do you see yourself most in? Probably Gojo. Gojo and yeah, I'd say Gojo for sure. Like someone who's funny and pretty carefree, but when it's time to lock in for that 1%, they lock in. Yeah. I'm a huge Gojo fan, man. So I even did like a Gojo cosplay kind of. Like I've got the black like Nike dry fit t-shirt and I've got the sweatpants. I just need the sandals, and then yeah, I pretty much look like Gojo when I do that. So I mean, I don't really look like him. I don't have white hair, but I got blue eyes. I'm like sick. I'm like the same height as him. I've got pretty much the same build, so close enough. Which one do you wish you were like? That's a good question. I've got like kind of the character in mind. I guess this might sound weird, but I wish I was a bit more like the third Hokage. That way, because of the wisdom that he has, and like the selflessness that he has. I don't know, man. Actually, scratch that. I don't think there's one that I wish that I was more like. I'm pretty cool with being Gojo. Which rage moment lives in your head rent free? Bro, I was 12 years old. I just bought like skins on Rotmeg for my Archer with my mom's credit card, and then I died on the Archer, bro. I was so pressed. I had like a mental breakdown. I just like went outside and like laid on the ground, like I was crashing out, dude. I was like, no, how could this happen to me? Because it was like I was pissed that I lost my Archer, which maybe had max speed. I don't freaking remember. I was pissed that I wasted my mom's money. I was pissed that I wasted the money that I had gotten from my mom. So it's just like, no, fuck. Would you rather have the power to know all knowledge or to feel all emotions deeply? Ooh, this is good. I think I would say neither of these, because if you're the person that has all knowledge, then you're just gonna be like explaining shit all the time with facts. You're gonna be so boring and logical, and there's gonna be no room for like commentary or insights that you develop on your own. It's just gonna be like, oh, 101, like binary. Feel all emotions deeply. Well, like, if you just feel all your emotions deeply, it's not necessarily a good thing, because your emotions can tell you one thing, like your heart, but maybe that's not the right thing for you. For example, if you love somebody and you want to pursue them, but you have this goal in your life that you know needs to be the number one priority, then like you'd just be swept away with your whims if you feel all your emotions deeply. I mean, someone could argue that you could feel the emotion deeply and you could recognize it and honor it and then move accordingly in a different way, but I don't know, dude. I think the gift of life is not knowing. Not really knowing. And if you have all the knowledge and if you can feel your emotions even deeper than normal, then that'd give you some more power, some more leeway to know certain things quicker and better. And it's more fun to be in the unknown in life. So, yeah. If you could rewrite the ending of one series... Oh, I already answered that. Fave food while binge watching anime? Dude, definitely Takis, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Had some Pringles last night while watching the Chimera Ant arc. Those are good, but Fritos are better. Yeah, like the honey barbecue twisted Fritos. And chili cheese Fritos or Fuego. Spicy Fritos. I mainly like chips. Candy's also good too, like High Chews and Haribos are great. Sour Patch Kids. I mean, sour gummies. Had some of those at the Demon Slayer movie. It was fire. Yeah, stuff like that. I kind of like to have snacks, not like full-blown meals. Burritos are good too, but I mainly like to enjoy my burritos just in silence or with a friend or family member. So yeah. Do you think people enjoy stories because they're escaping reality, or because they're learning how to face it? Okay, Ghetto Suguru, I'll answer your question. I think it's a mixture of both. Me personally, it's kind of nice to just put on a show or read something, and you kind of get away from reality you're put into this own world and you kind of get into a flow where you're really immersed in that world. Like reading JJK right now and just, dude, it's like everything, all my thoughts just go like out the window, and I'm in this flow state where I'm just reading, just like seeing, oh my god, what is happening? And you just get like super hyped and excited about like all the different plot twists and what's happening in the story, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like you're not thinking about, oh, I got that job thing that I need to follow up on, or oh, this person XYZ, or you're not thinking like that because you're just so focused on the book, which that's what I love about it. In terms of like facing reality, though, I think it does help you face reality because something like Jujutsu Kaisen or just Shonen in general, it's all about getting back the F up on your 2 feet after you've been knocked down by life. So also with stuff like Seinen, like Vagabond, Berserk, Monster, etc. Those are all about the human condition. And something like Homunculus, you really have to face yourself if you're reading that. So yeah, definitely would say that it's a mixture of the two. What's a random fun fact about you your audience might not know yet? Was able to dunk a basketball at the age of 17. Let's see. Yeah. That's it. If life was an RPG, what class do you think you'd be? Ooh, this is a fire question. I'd be a shadow archer, bro. Like, I'd be someone who's like lurking in the shadows, like a chill dude who has like the void bow. And yeah, I'd just be like this sick archer, bro, whose arrows could just pierce anyone, anything. And I'd also have like some water abilities, like my domain expansion would just be, I don't know, some kind of water ability where I'm able to throw hands super well. I don't know. I'll come up with that another time. I'm kind of tired of this shit. How many questions you got, bro? I got my social battery running low, brother. What's your comfort anime or game that you always go back to? Comfort anime is definitely Naruto. I've watched it God knows how many times, and I started reading it too, but I can't do it like when I was a kid where I could just watch Naruto over and over and over. I need a little bit of a break, maybe give me like a year, and then I'll probably just read it again and it'll be fine. Game-wise, Minecraft for sure. Just starting a world, being the Ender Dragon, it's fun. Which gaming villain secretly has the best point? I'm gonna change this to anime villain. The anime villain that secretly has the best point is Meruem, simply because he was trying to work to create peace and justice in the world, and he was talking and trying to sort things out instead of fighting. He didn't want to resort to that. So, you watch his speech to Netero and you think, is this really the bad guy? If you could only play one game for the rest of your life, which would you choose? Pokemon? Is that even a question? Oh yeah, I guess Pokemon is like my third favorite game of all time. It kind of goes without saying, though. If your channel had a mascot character, what would they look like? Bro, don't need a mascot, bro. This ain't a sports team. It's just a channel, bro. What's the first video game you ever fell in love with? Super Smash Bros. 64. And then that evolved into Melee when I got it, and Star Fox Assault. Which anime opening or gaming soundtrack would you make your life's theme song? For anime opening, I'd say right now I'd say Special Z from Jujutsu Kaisen, from the Shibuya arc, because in that arc there's just so much chaos, there's so much change happening. It's very tiresome for our main cast, and I'd say my life is similar to that right now. It's just there is an upheaval of change and just so much happening that I would definitely consider it Special Z. Gaming soundtrack, definitely. I'd say Route 110 from Emerald. Yeah. If you can make a squad from different video games, who's in it? So give me Jet from Valorant at point guard. Give me Master Chief at shooting guard. Give me Shadow at my small forward. Give me Jirachi at my power forward, and Meta Knight as my fifth. Yeah, I'd go with that. Do you think art, anime, manga, games can change the way someone lives their life? Yeah, for sure I do. I think the big reason I stopped drinking and smoking when I was much younger was because I got back into anime, manga, and gaming. That kind of became my outlet rather than destroying my lungs or drinking myself to death with a bunch of people. So, yeah, I think it also changes your view on life. It teaches you life lessons. I guess the number one most important one, though, is just being able to narrow your focus and sacrifice for what you want to do in your life. You know, you think of someone like Lelouch. He sacrificed so much to achieve his goal, and yeah, just kind of having that drive, that passion, and never give up and go for what you want, man. That's what it's all about. One anime / gaming moment that made you think about life differently. So I guess in terms of anime, I'm gonna go recent. I just finished the Morel versus Chitu fight, and I think what I learned is that, you know, you in life you shouldn't always be so like tense and trying to rush things. You should really, like, of course I already kind of knew this, but it's just served as a very valuable reminder. With your breathing, it's kind of like with your breathing, right? You want to be breathing deeply into your lungs. You don't want to be just stuck, kind of like breathing short breaths, because Morel really waited things out. He developed a strategy, while Chitu was just impatient, desperate. So if you want to be a master of your own life, you should really have patience and take your time. And that can go for anything. And just having that faith of like, okay, well, I didn't quite get here, but I can do it tomorrow. You know, just that ability instead of, oh, I gotta put my head down, I gotta do this. So instead of like striving, just being. Gaming moment. I would just say that in general, there's a point for sure where multiplayer games, it gets really old, and you've got to go back to single player games. That's what I'd say about gaming. And that single player games can a lot of the time be a lot more of a valuable experience than multiplayer. Like, for example, are my best gaming memories really going to be if I just reached some sort of rank goal or like got my divine pet in Rotmeg to 100? Probably not, compared to like the glory days of catching Darkrai for the first time, or playing through Alpha Sapphire just for the fun of it, you know? Yeah, like what's more memorable, what's more fun, and what's more rewarding? I don't even have much fun playing video games anymore, to be honest. Outside of like a little bit of Pokemon. That's about it. Alright, yeah. Thank you guys for 200 subs. This is X signing out. Peace.